Daniel had been driving for hours along Highway 22. The rain poured heavily, and the night felt unnaturally still. He spotted a flickering neon sign, "Motel Rest Inn." Desperate for sleep, he pulled over. The parking lot was empty. Not a single car in sight. Yet the office door was unlocked, and an old woman sat at the desk. Her eyes were milky white, her smile faint. Without a word, she handed him a brass key. Room number 6. Daniel carried his bag down the hallway. The wallpaper was peeling, the carpet damp. A foul odor hung in the air, like something rotting. He ignored it, telling himself it was just an old building. Inside room 6, the air was ice cold. The light bulb flickered above the bed. On the wall, a tall mirror faced the room. Daniel caught a glimpse of himself, but something felt off. His reflection lingered for a split second longer than it should have. He shook his head, blaming exhaustion. He locked the door and collapsed on the bed. Sleep took him quickly, but the night wasn't done with him. At 12:13 a.m., Daniel awoke to scratching sounds. At first, faint. Then louder. Like nails dragging against wood. The noise came from inside the walls. He grabbed his phone, but the screen refused to turn on. That's when he realized the scratching wasn't random, it was coming in patterns. Almost like words. He turned toward the mirror. The reflection wasn't asleep. It was standing by the bed, staring at him. Daniel froze, his heart racing. Slowly, the reflection raised its hand and waved. Then it smiled, a wide, toothy grin Daniel knew he could never make. The mirror rippled like water. The reflection pressed its hand against the glass. Daniel stumbled backward, whispering, "This isn't real. This isn't real." The reflection stepped out. Its skin was pale, eyes black voids. It tilted its head and whispered in Daniel's own voice, "You shouldn't have come here." Panic surged. Daniel bolted for the door, but when he opened it, the hallway was gone. Instead, an endless corridor stretched forward, lit by buzzing, flickering bulbs. He ran, his footsteps echoing unnaturally loud. Behind him, he heard another set of steps, perfectly synchronized with his own. Every move he made, the echo copied. He screamed, but the sound came back distorted, deeper, as if someone else had screamed through his throat. Daniel slammed on a door that appeared suddenly in the hallway. It opened to reveal room 6 again. The mirror waited inside, glowing faintly. The reflection was already inside, sitting on the bed. It patted the mattress, inviting him closer. "Stay," it whispered. "Stay forever." Daniel shut the door and turned to run again, but the hallway twisted. The lights overhead burst one by one. Darkness closed in. Something cold grabbed his wrist. He looked down, a pale hand, identical to his own. Another Daniel was pulling him toward the shadows. He tore free and stumbled into the darkness, crashing to the ground. His body ached, his head spun. When he looked up, he was lying outside in his car, the motel glowing faintly in the distance. Morning sunlight streamed through his windshield. For a moment, he convinced himself it had all been a nightmare. But when he reached for his phone, his blood ran cold. The gallery was filled with photos. Dozens of them. Each picture showed him sleeping in room 6. The angles were impossible, as if taken from inside the mirror. Daniel never spoke of that night again. But sometimes, in the dead of night, his phone would light up on its own. And new photos would appear. Local legends claim that the Motel Rest Inn still stands, abandoned. Travelers who stayed there reported missing time, strange doppelgangers, and whispers in the dark. Some checked in and were never seen again. Their names remain in the motel's guest book, but no bodies were ever found. Rumors say room 6 is cursed, that it shows you not yourself, but the version of you that wants to replace you. If you ever find yourself driving Highway 22 and see a flickering neon sign offering rest, keep driving. Some doors should never be opened. Remember, true horror is not in ghosts or monsters, it's in reflections that move when you don't. If this story terrified you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Because next time, the nightmare could be yours.